Hey guys, we want to say thank you to our sponsor, CutShield, for bringing you this episode. Make sure you check them out on the link below and use the promo code for 25% off your order. Used by all 32 NHL teams and players, CutShield is the premier protective player clothing designed by players for players. Their innovative cut-resistant clothing has prevented serious injury to numerous players, including over 30 NHL players. Cut Shield gives you the peace of mind to go out and play without worrying about injury. Use our promo code Grove City Hockey, all lowercase and no space, for an additional 25% off your order today.
Now carried it in back into goal.
That was a beautiful passing play right there, Sean.
What a save! Woo! Talk about a move.
Welcome to another exciting edition to Grove City Hockey Presents
Hockey in our neck of the woods, and you, sir, were a very talked about person towards the end.
I'm a fifth-year senior, well, it's my sixth year of college.
and welcome to GCH Podcast. I'm your host, Ben W. Stock, and with me is a very special guest. I've got Steve Brandi. How you doing, Steve?
Good, how are we?
Good, man. Good. Do you go by Steve or do you go by Brandi, or do you got a nickname on the rink that everybody calls you by?
Everybody on the roller rink calls me Stavi, but Steve, Stavi, anything's good with me.
Stavi, love it, man. Love it. So you had a phenomenal roller season this year, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, end of the year for League Elite out in France, I got a call from a buddy, Robbie. One of the starting goalies went down. I ended up going out to France and playing for Villeneuve for playoffs to back up the other kid, Ruben, who also another great goaltender. Danny Brayback was the guy that got hurt, and he's been around the roller game forever, one of the better goalies out in Europe. And going out there was it was a great experience to check out the game in Europe. It's a completely different game compared to out here in America.
Okay, so like with that, what are some of the similarities, but what are the main differences that you notice playing in the French league this past bit?
A lot less physical game there. Definitely some of the penalties. My first game, I was like, they're really going to call that? But they shoot from everywhere. The rinks are a lot smaller, and the game is it's more strategic. They like to run and gun, but the passing is A1 out there. They just love to move the puck, especially on those small nets. It's not easy getting a great angle.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think I was talking to Haji about the different styles between Italy and France and Spain. France seems to have more of a puck possession, slow style, whereas Spain tends to kind of pick up the pace, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And then Italy is kind of like a run and gun, similar to the American style, but with less physicality. Yeah,
I'm a fan of the run and gun. I grew up with it, so.
Cool. So tell us how did you get picked up to play for Carshield? I don't know the whole story with what happened with Troy Redmond here at the Palma Invitational. I know he was there for tours. Was he there for Narch? I don't remember.
Played Narch. Okay. He was there for Narch too.
Okay.
Then Palma, he went down, our second game of the tournament, round robin against the Roadrunners.
Okay.
And I want to say about 5-7 minutes into the game, he got run by a bigger boy. It was an incidental play, but he got run. He was stuck in butterfly, and he said he heard his knee pop out. So.
Okay. Yeah, no, so that's the first time hearing it. But I didn't get a chance to do any
the feed cut out. The feed cut out when all that happened, or like the stream. It didn't when it popped back up, like my mom called me and she was like, all of a sudden the stream came back and you're in net, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about. So now, were you the backup at both tours and at Narch Pro?
Yeah, I've been back up for Troy since last year we had Cam at State Wars, Cam Johnson.
Okay.
But I've been with Carshield the past 2 years, and then Ringster the year before last. And I was backing up Chucky Robinson at Ringster, and then I was backing up Cam Johnson last year and Troy this year. So I've been around a little bit. I get some of the best goalies in the roller game. I get to learn from them.
But that's an amazing experience because like I mean, if you look at the handful of people that are able to do that, it's less than 1%, bro. Like it's phenomenal.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I always
You
say
know?
my kids are not playing goalie. They're playing out.
Right.
It's,
So
they got a better chance.
right. So then you've been with CarShield for a couple years, and then they're like, hey man, when your starter goes down, next man up takes over, and you handled it phenomenally, man. Like I watched those games and I was like, dang, dude, this guy's pretty good.
Yeah, I've always played men's AAA for a long time, wanting to play pro, and it finally worked out these past couple of years where I got my shot. And you always got to be ready. You never know what's going to happen, and you just got to get mentally prepared before every game, and just be ready to go in when your time's called.
Yeah, and that's you got to attribute that to great mental focus, mental awareness because hey, you know your role going to the game. You're like, hey, my job is to make sure that hey, I'm ready to go should anything happen, and then when shit does hit the fan, so to speak, you're there and you perform. You perform like they ask you to. So that's a kudos to you, man. Like that's hats off, bro.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it was a big moment. It was a big moment for me. I felt like starting first pro tournament basically after Troy goes down because we got nothing after that. The cavalry's gone.
Right.
It's just
No,
me.
you are the cavalry, bro.
Yeah.
like
Oh,
like that's something that, not many people realize though too is like you literally were the cavalry. And not only that, but you brought the house down.
well, the boys have taken care of me the past 2 years, 3 years. The least I could do, to pay them back for all the good they've done me, especially
Yeah.
giving me the opportunity.
Cool. So tell us a little bit about that championship game because you guys were playing. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Snipers.
Snipers. Yeah. Now this was their first tournament all year.
Yeah, they
right?
usually only play State Wars.
Okay.
They used to do Narch in State Wars, but they haven't done Narch in a while, I don't think. But they're always one of the top teams at State Wars every year.
Yeah. Is there a reason for that you know of, or
I don't know
maybe
the
like
reason
heard
for
some
that.
rumblings?
They have a lot of ice guys. They have a couple European guys. It is hard getting everybody to all three tournaments. Two's the kudos, but three is it's a challenge.
Yeah. I was talking to Etan, I think last week, Saturday. Yeah, because we were supposed to do it like on a Monday or a Tuesday, and something just came apart. And he was like, "Hey man, I got like 25 minutes. I'm waiting at the airport. Want to do this interview now?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." And so that was pretty cool. But man, so now what's next for you now that roller season's done? Where are you headed? What are your goals for this upcoming? Do you play ice?
I play, yeah.
Okay.
I play I play a little men's league ice with all my buddies from back home as much as I can during the week. I work with my father catering. I do DoorDash, I do Lyft, I do it all, entrepreneur. But I'm trying to go back out overseas. I'm just waiting to hear back from a couple teams. But if not, I'm just going to play Piha and maybe even Miha this summer or this winter with Suffolk Sting for Piha. And Miha would be playing with Haji and whatever team they're putting in this year.
Oh, that'd be sick, dude. Because I'll be calling. Well, I don't know if I'll be calling most of the games, but I'll be covering most of my on the pod. I know.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, once they get the, I think once they get the final, I think right now they're up to to 60 teams.
No way.
Yeah, well, because you got to remember they're now expanding to a T5 division, so you got T2, T3, T4, and T5. So I mean, it's just growing, and I'm like, yeah. So when I saw the email the other day, like he had like 60 teams confirmed, and everybody had to be signed up by the 1st of August. So I'm like, man, I got 60 episodes I got to do. Because my goal is to get at least one episode for each team before the end of the season this coming year. So at least that's what I'm shooting for.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I mean it'd be cool. You're obviously going to be playing in T2, T1, whatever division they're going to rename it. I'm not sure if they're renaming it yet. But at this point, who knows? But so that's cool, man. And then you play with the Suffolk Sting, you said, for Piha?
For Piha. Yeah, for Piha.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to make playoffs this year because I ended up going to France and we lost in Game 7 of the finals. But yeah, it was upsetting.
Yeah. Now, are you more of a fan of a series-based tournament? Where you have like a 7-game series, or are you more a fan of the one and done type situation like we see with the rest of the regular season?
I just love being out there, man. Roller is it's good to get away from the ice because you played it for so long, and it's when you're playing men's league ice and you're going to these roller tournaments, it's way more competitive. It brings you back gives you that, the juice is back. But I'm a fan of the series tournaments. I think those are all really cool. You get to field teams out and stuff too.
Yeah, I think it would be kind of cool to see, like the top tier teams playing, a best of 3 or a best of 5.
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine that PAMA Invitational being a best of 3 or a best of 5? Once you get to that finals, I mean, like, come on, you'd be tearing the house down.
It'd be crazy. I think with that, but I think Timmy does a really good job with how he sets it up for PAMA Pro. You're playing on Sunday, you're playing 3 of the hardest games of the summer. No matter who you're playing against, you're going to get their best game, and it's going to be one of the best games of the summer. Mars Blades was our first game. We played Black Ice in the semi, and then we played the Snipers in the finals. Those are 3 completely different games, and we got all their best games.
And it's super tough because you got Shivo with Black Ice and Joey. I think Joey, or is it?
No, PJ. PJ on Black Ice.
It was the other one too. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Like, there's just so much talent out there right now.
Oh, they're loaded.
I think Kraft is on that team too, right?
Yep, Kraft. KJ Teffenworth. He's been doing this for a long time. You got Ant Kozlo on the D end. You got the Mooney, one of the Mooney brothers.
Yep. And
they're loaded.
I think that was Kevin, or it might have been Kyle.
I think it's Kevin, and Kyle's on PAMA. I mix them up all the time.
Yeah, I do the same too. Yeah, I do the same too. So, but Carshield's loaded too. I mean, you got your boy Haji, you got Garrett Ross, Nick Okada, Jess Hackett. Who else am I? I'm missing your boy Adam Ernie too, right?
Adam Ernie.
Yeah,
the big Ern.
Yeah, he's cool. I watched him playing so my fiance got us tickets to watch Colorado and Detroit play. I'm a huge Colorado fan, but
that's a good rivalry game too.
Yeah, no, dude, back in the day that was it. So like when I was a big Patty Waugh fan growing up. When he played for Montreal, that was my team. Like that was my first team. And then when he was like, you know what, I'm done, and not a lot of people know this, but his last game in Montreal, the score, I believe it was 7-1, and he was ran out by Detroit.
Yeah, second period.
Yeah, and then his last game in Colorado was 7-1, and it was Detroit.
Detroit, of course.
So a little bit of information there that not many people know. But yeah, so it's just one of those things where when he requested a trade in 90, I think it was 96, late late 95, early 96.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pick a team, and this was the team I was gonna go with because the new expansion from Quebec to Colorado. So I was excited, I was hyped, and I don't even have a favorite pro team of anything else. It's just Colorado for me.
Just Colorado.
Yeah, so it's crazy. But yeah, so who was your favorite goaltender? Like, who did you emulate growing up? Watching, like, who was your guy that you, when you were watching, that was your guy?
John Van Beesbrook.
Oh my
That was my guy. Beezer.
God.
I was obsessed.
Beasy,
Obsessed.
and then you had Colorado in Florida,
Florida in the
in
final.
'96.
They won
Yeah.
like 3 overtimes, and Ozolinch or somebody scored, and I was so upset.
Oh man, it was crazy. And another interesting fact is that Johnny, his son Ben Van Beesbrook, is a State Farm agent just up the road from me.
No way.
Yeah, he took over and was a general manager for the Muskegon Lumberjacks in the USHL for a couple of years. And I remember walking up I just happened to like go watch a game, and I come up the steps, and I'm looking at John, and I go, is that who I think it is? And then I'm like, it is. And then but I didn't say anything, but we both made eye contact and we nodded. So that was kind of cool.
It'd be easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was working with like Team USA or USA Hockey for a while. I don't know if he still is.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think he left the Muskegon to do, and then I think he was out east there for a little bit too. So.
Yeah. Also, big Steve Valiquette guy. Steve Valiquette was one of my goalie coaches growing up. Played for the Rangers. I was a Ranger fan. Still am. But
cool.
He was
now, are you from the greater New York area?
I'm from Connecticut. Yeah, I'm right New Haven, Connecticut, basically.
Okay.
Pizza capital of the world.
How far is that from Rye, New York? It's like gotta be right around the corner.
45 minutes to an hour, depending on traffic. It's not bad.
Awesome. Yeah, I've got some family out that way. My great aunt Peach moved out that way to be closer to her son, and ever since, it's been like 4 or 5 years since the last time I've seen her. But I need to make a trip out that way.
Oh, Rye's nice too. I like Rye.
Yeah,
drove by there. I drove through Rye yesterday.
Cool. All right, so yeah, so you're looking to maybe hopefully get some more playing time overseas. Is there any particular team you're kind of talking to that you can talk about?
Not really yet. I spoke to a couple. I would really want to go back to Villeneuve, but it's just not going to work out there. They got 2 goalies, 2 great goalies too, like on top of it. And I just made some good friends there being there for my short period of time, and I'm a fan of the team, for the boys always.
Yeah, I'm surprised Roan won't pick you up because that's not too far from Villeneuve. Villeneuve. Yeah, I always find a way to butcher French names, even though I've got some French in me. So I'm just like, I took a French class and I still can't get it right.
Oh, I wish I did. When I got there, I said, I should have tried learning some of this before.
Yeah. But it's where just say ça va, and they're just like, what?
Oh, ça va is it. Ça va. Walk in the locker room, ça va, boys, ça va.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. But man, so that's awesome. Like, and then France is a lot smaller than most people realize. But it's not super small either, but you can tour the whole country pretty quickly.
Yeah, I was only there a month and like a week or 2, and it was practice twice a week, games on Saturday, and then you had your free time. But I got to go to Paris a lot, experience Paris. I'd never been to Europe before, so
yeah, it
was definitely awesome. My buddy showed me around. He actually plays professional ice out there and plays roller for Villeneuve, so he knew all the spots. He took me everywhere I needed to go.
Yeah, when PJ was playing out that way, I happened to see a lot of his stuff on Instagram. PJ Cavia, yeah, because he played with you guys at Narch Pro, right?
He played with us at Narch, yeah.
Yeah, so I had he was playing at Western Michigan University for ice hockey, and him and Ross Henry were not playing on the varsity that weekend, and I said, "Hey guys, I need a couple skaters for this for AIHL," and we were making our debut, and we were playing Detroit. I think it was Smolinski's team, and man, when PJ came in, and of course Ross, but I'd never seen a defenseman just shut down everybody like that.
Oh, he's so good.
Yeah, it was
good.
Disgusting.
I've watched PJ play for years and years, especially with the snipers and all of them.
Yeah.
And getting to play with him this year was really cool. Like getting up close and personal with him and just seeing his game up close, you know.
Oh, and it's amazing to watch it from the bench, too, because you're like, you don't even have to say anything because he already knows that, like, the instinct is there.
Oh, yeah.
For him to just do what he's got to do, and it's phenomenal.
We were missing him for our playoffs on, was it Saturday for Narch, and he had a wedding. He had to go. He had to miss playoffs, and he could have helped. He could have helped. He's one of the best defensemen I've ever seen. So,
yeah. Well, and right there with Adam Hodge or with Corey Hodge too, man. Yeah, like you can't I don't think because Corey was one of the first that I played against, and I mean years ago, like it was like 2009, 2010, and man, I was just in awe of the kid then, and he was just a young kid at that time. Yeah. And he's just only grown and just gotten so much better. So it's incredible to watch the guys that I used to play against, just being phenomenal.
I always say to them, like, Haji's our first, he's our number one. And I come up to him and I go, you make the game so much easier for me. And I have to thank you for it because I've never played, never had that in Connecticut. We have a small roller following here. We don't have much roller hockey. And to have him play defense in front of me, shut down everything.
Yeah.
I don't have to talk to him. He knows what I know. I know what he knows. And we just look at each other and we're there. We already got it.
Yeah. So now tell us a little bit. You just said that Connecticut doesn't have too much hockey. What's the closest rink for you then?
So I'm about 45 minutes from Plainville, Connecticut. It's up by kind of Hartford area near UConn. That is the only standing roller rink in Connecticut now. We used to have Glastonbury Z Rink, which was one of the best rinks. I used to love playing there, but it closed down. It's like a rock climbing facility now. But we used to have Connecticut Blaze there. They used to play Pi-Ha back in the day. And that's how I got into roller, honestly. They picked me up for their minor team when I was 16, and it all started from there. Started going to State Wars.
So now, how did you get involved in roller and ice? Did you just start out in ice, or did you start out in roller, or how did you get involved with the sport of hockey? Who introduced you in that too?
So my big brother, 10 years older than me, his name's Brian. He basically it's big brother, always looked up to him. He was a goalie for ice hockey and high school hockey, everything. So growing up, I was going to his games, always at the rink, being a little rink rat. And I looked at my mom when I was I was already skating by the time I was 4. And I looked at my mom and I was like, I want to play goalie. And she was like, please no. Please no. please be a defenseman. Anything but another goalie. And she knew she had her work cut out for her. But I put on the pads and never took them off since house league. I just wanted to be a goalie.
Yeah.
And then what was it? We were about 10, 12 years old. Our buddy had a outdoor rink, roller rink, and we were playing in that. And this guy came up to us and our parents and were like, you guys should play in these indoor tournaments. There's these big tournaments, State Wars. It's all Connecticut kids. And he introduced us to, we were playing on shoes and stuff, I didn't know. I was like, I have to wear skates in there? What? And he brought us to the first State Wars and we had so much fun and we were locked in ever since. Bill DiNapoli, shout out Bill DiNapoli. He's the GOAT. He's Connecticut roller hockey. He started it all here.
There you go. Thanks, Bill. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So tell us your favorite hockey memory. I know this past roller season was probably your best fun moment. But what's the one that you're like, you know what, man? I was like 6 years old, first time at a rink, and I just got to smell the equipment. Something like that.
I think it was, other than this past month, honestly, it had to be being a little kid playing mites, going up to, we have a big tournament at the sports center in Marlborough, Mass. It's got like 10 rinks. You walk in that place and then you're just like, this is it. They got the stadium with this big scoreboard in the middle. They're doing it, that's the championship rink on Sunday. And then all the other games, there's 10 rinks. So you're just running around watching hockey all day. There's an arcade. Your parents are just letting you do it. And then you go back to the hotel and it's mini hockey with the boys, And that was what really, like, I want to do this. Hockey's it for me. Been doing it since.
Did you do any other sports in school?
Yeah, I played lacrosse, baseball, soccer when I was younger. The nets are a little too big for me there, But I used to like baseball a lot and lacrosse. Played goalie in lacrosse. That was a mistake too.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're not wearing any pads. It's almost like playing being a hockey goalie in the 60s and 70s.
Oh, it was awful. It was awful. I used to wear soccer shin guards and sweatpants, but nobody could see the shin guards, so they didn't know.
Well, there you go. At least you had a little bit of protection, but it still hurt once you got hit.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, it still hurt. Couldn't get over those ones. Yeah, that ended quick, though. That ended quick. A couple of years of that, and I was like, this is not for me.
Yeah, I mean, I like that ball. That lacrosse ball is not soft at all.
No.
And some of those guys can get it, almost 160 miles an hour or something like that?
Oh, yeah. I'm in Connecticut, and these kids love lacrosse here. They love it.
Yeah.
They eat, breathe, sleep lacrosse. And they can shoot the ball 100 miles per hour by the time they're in high school,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy. And they can score from crazy distances.
Oh, yeah.
And not only that, but like they're doing stuff that you wish you could do with hockey, And like, could you imagine trying to be, like you're playing goal and then they have that lacrosse ability to be able to pull off some of those,
they call it the Chavo now.
Yeah, I know. It's like, holy cow, man. It's like I thought it was crazy when E10 was doing his little triple spin of Rooney thing that he was doing back in the mid 2010s, man. I was just like, what is this? He'd spin around like 3 times.
Out there. Oh.
Cool. All right, man. Well, we're about out of time, but I just wanted to thank you for taking the time. We got Carshield's Steve Brandi taking the time to chat with us. Steve, I can't thank you enough, man.
No, thanks for having me. It was a pleasure.
Cool. And so hopefully we'll see you playing again soon with the boys. I know I had a blast watching you guys. Hoping to get some more of you guys on the pod to talk inline hockey and it's hopefully spread the word and tell them, hey guys, check this guy out. It's a pretty fun interview.
I got you. So. Always.
All right,
hopefully we'll cross paths at Miha or Piha or wherever, any of the tournaments.
For sure. Yeah. Hopefully I'll be able to sneak away for a weekend. I don't know how I'm going to be able to do that with the baby coming in just a couple of days. But we'll see. I mean, never say never. I can always try.
Never say never.
That's right. So
I'm a big believer in that. Never say never.
Never say never, because you're like, I'm never gonna play, and then sure enough, I'm playing.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate it, and we will catch you guys on the flip side.
Thanks, Ben.
Cool. Hey guys, we want to say thank you to our sponsor, CutShield, for bringing you this episode. Make sure you check them out on the link below and use the promo code for 25% off your order. Used by all 32 NHL teams and players, CutShield is the premier protective player clothing designed by players for players. Their innovative cut-resistant clothing has prevented serious injury to numerous players, including over 30 NHL players. Cut Shield gives you the peace of mind to go out and play without worrying about injury. Use our promo code Grove City Hockey, all lowercase and no space, for an additional 25% off your order today.